When Calls the Heart Season 13 Episode 5 Review. Growing Pains highlighted how time slips through our fingers. By author Laura Noack. So many parents would love time to stand still and cherish the moments when their children were young. Watching children mature is bittersweet for parents, especially single ones. As Elizabeth mentioned on When Calls the Heart Season 13 Episode 5, she initially longed for things to return to normal when they came home. But that was realistic since their experiences in Cape Fullerton changed the entire family. Allie and little Jack had grown up and wanted different things now. Growing Pains was not only about Nathan and Elizabeth's family, and Henry and Christopher grew closer, only for Henry to learn a devastating truth. While Elizabeth seemed surprised that little Jack no longer wanted to be called that and preferred LJ, she reacted better than Nathan did to Allie's maturation. Fathers hate it when their daughters begin to grow up and show interest in boys. In their eyes, their daughter is young and wears pigtails. I've always enjoyed Nathan and Allie's relationship, but he overreacted just because Allie spent more time with Oliver. I'm still unsure if Allie likes Oliver romantically. They are in that sweet stage where they unsure if they were friends or more. However, Allie has learned to care about the things he does, dinosaurs and fossils. And Oliver cared about showing Nathan that he was worthy of caring for Allie. He knew that the lecture was just about Mountie business, but also about courting his daughter. Nathan needed to take a few steps back though. Allie was almost 18, and they were gathering fossils, not making out. He should trust both of them before he loses the good rapport he had with both. I am glad that Elizabeth made Nathan see reason, realize Oliver was a good kid, and realize that Nathan mainly feared things would change with his daughter. I was relieved they reconciled, and that Allie assured her father she'd always care about him. They have a special relationship, and she still has some growing to do before she's ready for love. Rebuilding Benson Hills was a passion project for Lee, because he understood what it meant to lose his dreams. It was personal. Since Lucas also wants to restore Benson Hills, we may see the two men work on this goal jointly. After a few weeks, Gwen fits in perfectly with the Coulters. She adored Goldie and talked more about her dreams. I loved how she drew her house right down to the imperfections that were meaningful to her. Maybe she can help Lee with drafting some plans. Overwhelming anger and emotions caused Lee to have an anxiety attack. He'd been through so much that he kept going to avoid giving in to the anger. Lee thought starting his new construction business and focusing on rebuilding the community were positive, but he put too many eggs in too many baskets. Men often try to do everything to prove they are strong providers, but I appreciated that he agreed to slow down and that he considered helping with the trees outside ideal exercise. He was doing it by himself and had his own personal helper in Gwen. She's helped them as much as they've helped her. When I read that Elizabeth and her students started a project that brought the community together, I suspected it would involve planting new trees. She instilled in class the importance of nature and giving back to the community. Elizabeth has been a great role model to these children, and they were lucky to have her. I'm not even surprised that Cooper and Toby snuck off to do it themselves. I suspect that, since no one has proved they were guilty, it was community service. They wanted to do it. I love that Elizabeth jumped right in, encouraging the other students to help, and these trees were the future. In times of grief, staying busy and helping others can make people feel useful. That's something Lee understood and took charge of, suggesting hardier trees. Once he gathered everyone, the entire town made an event of planting the trees, and the boys could see that planting them brought everyone some joy. It was the first sign that the community might survive this. We've longed for more Henry Gowen since When Calls the Heart Season 13 started, and we love that the series is exploring his father-son relationship with Christopher Moore. Henry missed so much time with his son, so becoming friends as adults and being asked to give the wedding toast were giant steps for their relationship. Henry has become such a mentor to so many of the younger generation that he recognized character and taking responsibility. He's one of the adults who hoped that Cooper and Toby weren't responsible for the wildfire, but respected that they'd want to replant trees in the forest. Seeing those cement rocks in Christopher's buggy had to devastate Henry, since he knew that the Mounties suspected they might have caused the fire. Henry's changed so much since When Calls the Heart began, and he took some of those rocks, leading me to hope he'll turn the evidence in. However, it's challenging to turn on your child when there's such a fragile bond. Over to you, Hearties. Will Henry discuss his suspicions with Nathan and Bill? Was Nathan too protective of Allie? Did you enjoy how the entire town came together to rebuild the forest? Let us know in the comments. Enjoyed this review? Help us out. Drop a comment or share it. It's free, painless, and helps keep independent TV coverage alive. Nathan struggled with Allie growing up, and Henry learned an awful truth on When Calls the Heart Season 13, Episode 5. Our review, learning who the new suspects were on When Calls the Heart Season 13, Episode 4 made the residents consider was actually to blame. TV delivered across the board, and these standouts made sure we felt it. From industry to landman, our characters of the week. Posted on Published. February 1, 2026, Laura Noack is a staff writer for TV Fanatic. As a lifelong fan of TV of many genres, her current favorites are Will Trent and Alert, Missing Persons Unit. She is a Hallmark and Netflix junkie and adores series like Sweet Magnolias, Ginny, and more categories reviews.